Hey everyone, my name is Ben Reimer. I'm super excited to be here with Prairie Percussion, and so great that you can be tuning in. I've been lucky enough to have participated in Prairie Percussion here in Winnipeg since the very beginning when it first started. So it's great that we can continue with you at home and working with me here at the University of Manitoba, where I'm teaching percussion as well. So what I want to talk about today is independence, which is the ability to do more than one thing at once, like doing this, right? Or playing the drum kit where you have to play 4 things at once because you have your feet and your hands at the same time. You've probably experienced independence at school in your concert bands. Say you have to play not only the triangle part, but you're also supposed to be playing the bass drum part, and you're doing both of them at the same time while following your conductor. That's all independence. And that's not something that comes naturally. We have to work on it. So what I like to do is, by using the drum kit, I work on an exercise that starts to build my ability to do 2 things with my hands while doing totally different things with my 2 feet. And by building up this independence, I can then apply that to everything else that I'm doing. Okay, so to work on my independence, what I like to do is first start with a basic ostinato with my feet. So an ostinato is a repeating pattern. So the repeating pattern that I'm going to use today is this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. If you find this a little too challenging, you can also try a much simpler version, which would just be 1, 2, 3, 4. But for today, I'm going to use the slightly more challenging version. I'm going to start with the ostinato, and when I'm ready, I'm going to begin with my hands, and I'm going to start with just basic 8th notes, 2s, then I'm going to move to 16th notes, 4s, sextuplets, 6, and then finally 32nd notes, which are my 8s. I'm going at quarter note equals 60 because I know that I'm comfortable by the time I get to those really fast ones, I can still do it without killing myself, because this isn't supposed to be wearing us out. It's really a good warm-up. So for me, 60 is where I start. So I'm going to start that up, move my ostinato, and I'll start with my 8th notes. I'll do that for a while. When I'm comfortable, I'll shift to the 4s, the 16th notes. Then to 6s. And then the last one, 32nd notes. Okay, so once you feel comfortable with that, doing basically the evens, 8th notes, 16th, sextuplets, 32nds, then you can take it sort of to the next level and add all the odds, the triplet, the 3, the 5, and the 7. And this gets a little bit more advanced because now what you're going to end up having is some polyrhythms that are going to be happening when you're doing the 3 over your 2 in your feet. A 5 is going to be over your 2 in the feet. Things like that. So far with evens, we didn't really have to deal with that. But this is where it starts to get a little more interesting. I'm going to go ahead and put my click on. Hopefully I stay in time with it. I'm going to start again with the 8th notes. I'm starting with quarter note equals 60 still because that's nice and comfortable for me. If you need to start at 40, you do whatever you need to do. So here I go. So 2s. So that's our first polyrhythm, the 3 over the 2. Back to 4s. This one's nice and easy. Now we're taking it to another crazy one, the 5s, quintuplets. I rushed a little bit. Now we're going to go to 6s. 7s. And finally, 8s. All right, I have one more version for you, which is the ultra advanced version. But I want to be really clear and say that even I don't really play this one that often. I do sometimes just to really kind of push myself, but for the most part, in a warm-up, I like to do something that I'm really comfortable with and that I actually don't find that difficult, because that way I can warm up safely, I can play slowly, and it's just a good way to start the day. So if for you is starting with the most basic quarter note version with your feet and playing just the evens, maybe you're only comfortable playing eighth notes, you just stay on that and do it for as long as you want, just use it as a warm-up. I'm kind of rushing through each phase of these, especially, I'm only playing each one basically one hand each time. I'll sit on one rhythm for maybe 5 minutes even, and sometimes I'll do variations and come up with other kind of ways that I feel like doing it that day. And you can come up with all sorts of ways of doing these things. But the idea is taking your time, slowly moving through each one, and just doing a really relaxed warm-up. That's really what this is all about. But if you want that little extra push, I'm going to show you one more version. So in this way, as we move through 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and we'll just go that far, I'm going to be starting with my hands together on the eighth notes, playing the 2s. And then what's going to happen is my left hand is always going to go to the next one first. So what's going to happen is going to 2, 2, 2, 2, then left is going to go to my 3s. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, while my other hand stays doing the 2. And then my right hand will join it. We'll play 3s together. Then my left hand will move to 4s, and then I'll have a 4 over 3 over my 2 in my foot. That's why it's kind of crazy. And then 4s together, then 5 over 4, and then I'll probably stop there. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to use the metronome for this one, just to sort of free myself up. I kind of like to play around with these, and it's good to play with the metronome, but it's also great to just sort of let yourself go. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Here we go. So that was going from 2s in unison, moving up left, right, all the way till I got to 5s in unison. So once I've been working on this exercise for a while, I like to just sort of rock out and kind of do whatever I want. There's something to be said about just having fun and experimenting around the drum kit without sort of looking at a strict exercise. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use that same ostinato with my feet, the boom, chick, boom, boom, that, and I'm going to just improvise and play around on the drum kit and see what kind of things happen.